What's up, movie fans? I'm the Master of Movies Clay from the Hills Maniacs, and today I'm going to be bringing you my DVD and Blu-ray collection, Christmas Edition. So for this video, I'm going to be going through my DVDs and Blu-rays of just like my Christmas movies and shows and other things that I had. There's surprisingly not that many as I thought there would be, because I have like almost 2,200 roughly of movies and DVDs and stuff. So I'm surprised that there's not that many Christmas ones, but I mean, some of these are great. Most of these I've seen. I'll tell you which ones I haven't seen. So we'll go ahead and start with my Blu-rays, and then I have one kind of like a box set thing because it came in like this metal tin thing, and then we'll go into the DVDs, and there's more DVDs than there are Blu-rays. So we'll just start with the Blu-rays. I only have 5 Blu-rays for Christmas movies, and one of them is a 2-pack. So the first one I have is A Christmas Carol. This is the George C. Scott one, where George C. Scott plays Ebenezer Scrooge, obviously based off the book by Charles Dickens. I've seen a lot of adaptations of this movie, and I like pretty much all of them. So this one I think is the one I remember the most with George C. Scott in it. But I do also have the Disney one, the animated one with Jim Carrey on DVD, which you'll see later on. But really good. If you haven't seen any version of A Christmas Carol, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a must-watch for Christmas, I think. A great movie. If you haven't seen it, you definitely should. The next one I have is a 2-pack of Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Really the only 2 Home Alone movies worth watching. I like the first one better, I think, just because it was like unique for what it was. And then Home Alone 2's a little bit too convenient, I think, for me. Like the sticky bandits, or the wet bandits now, just happen to be in New York when Kevin gets lost and ends up in New York. So I think it's a little too convenient, but it's still a fun time. 3 and 4, and I think there was a series, like Home Sweet Home Alone or something. I think it was a series, or a movie on Disney Plus or something like that. You don't need to watch those. These 2 are the only worth watching. And the first one, like I said, the first one's my favorite. Probably one of my favorite Christmas movies to watch is Home Alone. This next one's one I haven't seen. I heard about it, different mixed reviews and things, and I picked it up just because of the people in it, and because Liam Neeson's in it, I got it basically because I'm trying to collect all of his movies and watch them. But this is Love Actually, and I'm pretty sure this takes place. It says it takes place shortly before Christmas, so I'm gonna count it. But I've never actually seen this, and I've heard mixed things on it. Probably never gonna watch it, but I have it. But that's how it is with most of my movies. If you've watched any of my DVD and Blu-ray collection videos, you'll know I say that a lot, that I haven't seen it, and I probably won't. But I buy movies with the intent to watch them and never sit down to watch them. But that's what you do when you're a movie collector, I guess. This next one's a really funny movie. This is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think this and Animal House were the only 2 National Lampoon's movies I've seen. I have other ones, I just haven't watched them. Really funny movie. If you haven't watched this and you want to laugh, go watch this, because this is a funny movie. Chevy Chase is just hilarious in this. So go watch this movie if you haven't already. And then that was it for the Blu-rays. So now we'll move on to DVDs, and the first one I'm going to show is the one in the tin, and that's The Grinch, not to be confused with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which you'll see later on. This is The Grinch. This is the Illumination Studios one that came out in 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. But basically, you open it up on top, and inside is the DVD. So this is not a bad movie. It's not my favorite in the Grinch movies. I would rather watch the original or the Jim Carrey one over this, but not bad. And I didn't watch the mean one, the horror Grinch movie. But I mean, it's a different take on the story of the Grinch. And I don't know if it was like written as a separate book and they adapted it into a movie, or if they just kind of made it based off of the character from Dr. Seuss. But not a bad movie. It's not my favorite of these, and the Grinch is voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, so that's kind of cool. But not bad. It's a fun movie. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely check it out. It's still a good movie. It's just not my favorite Grinch movie. These next ones aren't in alphabetical order because I just kind of put them in the pile for, when I was pulling them out, because I had to go through all my DVDs and pull out the cases for all the Christmas ones and try to leave them to organize. So this should be fun to put away. But this first one I have is Merry Madagascar. I've never seen this one, but it's kind of like Santa comes to Madagascar, gives the animals different presents and things, just based off the pictures on the back and what I read about it. So, but I've never seen this. I have seen Madagascar and Madagascar 2, but I haven't seen this. So, but it looks like a fun movie. Let me know what you guys thought if you've seen this. Is it worth watching? Next is one of my favorite movies ever from Disney. Tim Burton does a great job with this movie, and it can be watched Halloween or Christmas at least twice a year. Once for Halloween, once for Christmas, and it still holds up to this day. It came out in '93, and then The Nightmare Before Christmas. One of my favorite Disney movies. This movie is just great, and you never see a movie where they combine Halloween and Christmas like this. Before, at least before this, I don't know, they might have tried to do it again afterwards, but before this, you never had that kind of concept. And to think that this whole thing is made in like stop motion or claymation, whatever you call it, to know that they made this entire movie out of stuff like that is just incredible to think. And Tim Burton does a great job with this movie, and I love this movie. One of my favorites for Halloween and Christmas. Next is the Peanuts Holiday Collection. This isn't just Christmas. It does have it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. But I included it because it has a Charlie Brown Christmas in it also. So I couldn't just show you that because it is a 3-pack of it. So that's why it's here. But I do have a Charlie Brown Christmas on here. I have seen it. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I do remember liking it. And I don't think I've seen the other two, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So I might have to watch those someday. But next is another great Christmas movie. This is an animated movie from Warner Brothers, The Polar Express. Tom Hanks voices 4 or 5 I think 4 different characters in this. Really great movie. I don't want to spoil the end for you, but it's basically about a kid who doesn't believe in Santa and doesn't believe in the magic of Christmas, and then goes on this journey to basically make him believe. It's not a willing, like, he doesn't choose to go. They just kind of pick him up, and he goes on this journey to discover the magic of Christmas, if you will. So really good movie, really fun time. If you haven't watched this, why not? You should. This is a great Christmas movie. Polar Express is amazing, so you need to go watch it if you haven't already. This next one, I don't know if it really counts as a Christmas movie. I think so, because I think it takes place on Christmas. But that's Rise of the Guardians from DreamWorks, and it has the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, Jack Frost, and Sandman. All those, different types of magical creatures. And it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it when I watched it. I'm pretty sure, I'm just trying to read, because I think it takes place on or near Christmas, or at least Santa's in it, so I counted it. But Rise of the Guardians, good movie. If you haven't seen it, from DreamWorks, you should definitely check that one out. This next one's a classic, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you haven't seen this, how have you not seen this? Because it's on TV a lot during the Christmas season, and it's on DVD, obviously. And it's a good movie. We just recently rewatched this again, me and my family, and it's just still a good movie. It's only, I think like 90 minutes or something like that. But really, really good movie, and I really like the slipcover too. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, and compared to the actual case of it, but I really like Rudolph, and it's a great movie. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how you haven't seen it. Next is the Santa Claus, another really funny movie. Tim Allen plays Santa Claus. Great movie. Unique concept where basically something happens to Santa and he becomes Santa. So go check this out if you haven't seen it already. They do have it. There's 3 of these, plus there's a new series called The Santa Clauses on Disney Plus, which Steven did a video about here on the channel. If you haven't watched that, go check it out, because it came out just before this, why you should watch The Santa Clauses. So go check out that video when you're done watching this one. But the Santa Claus, my favorite of the trilogy, I think. Santa Claus 2 isn't bad. I wasn't a fan of the Santa Claus 3, but I have the first one at least. So good movie. Next is just like Merry Madagascar. This is Shrek the Halls. I've never seen this one, but I guess Shrek becomes Santa according to the back of the box. Never seen this, don't know much about it, but it was a Shrek movie, and I think we just picked it up the one time and just never watched it. But let me know if you've seen that, what you thought of it. And again, just like those two, this is a Chipmunk Christmas. Alvin and the Chipmunks, A Chipmunk Christmas. Never seen this, but I have it. Again, let me know what you thought. If you've seen it, what you thought of it. Next is, I told you you'd see this again later on, A Christmas Carol. This is the Disney animated version with Jim Carrey voicing Ebenezer Scrooge. This is another good one. I'm more of a fan of the live action one, I think. At least the George C. Scott one. But this one's not bad. It's the same movie, basically, just a different telling of it. I mean, still same characters, same story and everything, just this one's animated, and they changed a couple things in it, but it's still basically the same premise and the same movie. Still good. It's just I'd prefer the live action one over that one. Next is another classic. It's my mom's favorite Christmas movie. It's on all the time. It is a good movie, and they just made a sequel series, I think, about it. I think it's a series. And that's A Christmas Story. Just a great classic Christmas movie. If you haven't seen it, how have you missed it? Because it's literally on, I think, 24/7, or I think it's literally on for 24 hours on Christmas Eve. So you should definitely be able to watch it if you haven't already. Definitely a great movie, fun time. It's still, I mean, there's parts that are kind of like don't make sense or something, but it's still a fun movie. And I really like this slipcover because if you undo it, it opens up to a snow globe of Ralphie, and it's just kind of cool. They put a lot of detail into this slipcover, and I really like it. The Rudolph one's the same type of slipcover, but didn't have anything that pulled out like that. But great movie. If you haven't seen this, definitely go check it out, and then go watch the series or whatever it is on. I forget what it's even on. But yeah, great classic Christmas movie there. This next one's another one of my favorites, Arthur Christmas. I've seen it a couple times. I don't talk about it much, but it is a good Christmas movie about a family of Santa Clauses. Basically, they're all in the Claus family, and they're trying to train them how to be Santa Claus. And basically, Arthur is that one that kind of isn't good at it right away and stuff. So, really fun, really good movie. amazing voice cast in this too. I mean, you got James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Bill Nighy, Jim Broadbent, Imelda Staunton, Ashley Jensen. Andy Serkis voices a character in this, so it's just, I mean, just a great cast. Robbie Coltrane, I think, is also one of the actors to voice somebody in this. So just a great cast makes this a fun movie. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. This next one, Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is Christmas with the Cranks. Basically, their daughter's coming home for Christmas, and they weren't going to celebrate Christmas. They weren't going to decorate or nothing, and the whole neighborhood was like, oh, well, you should. And they said, no, we're not going to, but their daughter's coming home, and she really likes Christmas. So they end up getting the whole neighborhood involved, trying to get everything ready for Christmas for their daughter who's coming home. It's just a really fun movie. Jamie Lee, like I said, Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd's in it. A great movie. Go check this one out. This is fun. The next one I have is classic Christmas favorites. This is 10 holiday favorites. So it's got Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which you'll see another copy of later. The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, Pinocchio's Christmas, The Stingiest Man in Town. I've never seen any of those except The Grinch. The Year Without a Santa Claus, I have seen that. Rudolph's Shiny New Year, never seen that one. Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. So I've only seen 2 of those, I think, that I can remember at least. But I bought this just because it's the classic holiday pack, and who knows, maybe we'll watch them someday. But I've seen most of those, and a lot of those older ones are good. And here it is, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Another classic Christmas movie. Really good Christmas movie. It's only like, I think, it's like 80 minutes or something like that. 52 minutes. So I was way off. It's not even an hour, and it's still one of those movies that everybody talks about and everybody remembers. So still obviously a great movie. And then I have the Jim Carrey remake, if you will, from 2005, something like that. Yeah, early 2000s, I think. And Jim Carrey plays the Grinch. This is a fun one just because it's a lot longer, and they do a lot more and make the Grinch, they focus a lot more on the Grinch rather than just somebody telling the story of the Grinch. They actually show things that happen, which is basically what they do in the movie The Grinch that I showed earlier. But this one's really fun. Jim Carrey just brings that persona to the Grinch, and it's just he's great. I don't think I could see anybody else in this role either. He does an amazing job in this, and this movie is great. If you haven't seen either one of those, go check them out. The Grinch is a fun movie. Speaking of fun movies, here's another one, really funny. This is on every year. I think I've watched it every year, or at least seen it on TV. Elf with Will Ferrell. Not much to say about this that hasn't already been said. Just a great, funny movie. And I've always wanted to try that. If you've seen this, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a scene in the movie where Buddy the elf, played by Will Ferrell, mixes a bunch of foods together. So he's got like spaghetti, Pop-Tarts, candies, different things in there, and maple syrup, of course, because that's one of the 4 main elf food groups. But I've always kind of wanted to try that just to see how it would taste, because if you think about it, Will Ferrell would have had to have eaten that, or at least tried it for the movie when they were filming it. So I just kind of want to try that and see what it'll taste like. If you've done it, let me know what you thought of it if you've tried it. But I want to look up all the ingredients and get everything and try it one time just to see what it's like. Probably not gonna like it, but I just kind of want to see what it tastes like. But really funny movie. Yeah, it doesn't get any funnier than Will Ferrell. I'm sorry, Will Ferrell is just hilarious in pretty much everything he's in. And when you take something like this and to think about how much of it was improv and a lot of this stuff wasn't supposed to be in the script but ends up in the movie anyways. Like there's a scene where he's running through New York and none of the people that he's talking to that seem annoyed with him were actually supposed to be in the movie. They were just people on the street that were actually getting annoyed with Will Ferrell running around. So it's just kind of cool. And there was the scene with Peter Dinklage. He's an angry elf, so be careful. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Next one's a classic that I haven't seen. That's Holiday Inn. I bought this, for $10, not too long ago, and I never got around to watching it. I guess I don't know what made me want to buy it, but I was just like, well, I'll buy it and see what happens, and I just never got around to watching it. Like with most of the movies I buy. Next is the Jeff Dunham Christmas special. This isn't really a movie, but it's on DVD, so I put it for this. But Jeff Dunham's a hilarious ventriloquist. If you haven't heard of him, if you haven't seen any of his stuff, check him out. He's hilarious. And the things he makes his puppets do, and the voices he does, and the things they say is just hilarious. And this was his Christmas edition, so I have that. And then last but not least, that I remembered to bring down because I forgot all of the other reindeer, is another great, for me at least, a great childhood movie. That's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. I remember having this on VHS, and I actually found this. I'm one of those people that when I go to Walmart, I dig through the $5 bin or the $3.75 bin, and just find movies and stuff, and just get, even if I'm not gonna watch them, it's they're $3, or $5, whatever. I'm gonna get them. I also buy movies at Dollar Tree and stuff that I'm not gonna watch. But I literally was digging through the bin, and this was at the bottom of the bin, and it was like August, so it was like, why was this in there? I guess they just never cleaned it out from Christmas the year before or whatever. But I found this, so it was really cool, so I was just like, well, I'll pick it up, because I remember liking the VHS version of it that we had. So that's really fun, and it's based off of the song. Things happen in this that represent the song. The main character's cousin's name is Mel, just like in the song. But Santa gets sued in this movie for running over Grandma. So you got to be careful, grandmas, when you're walking home from our house to get your medication, and you've been drinking eggnog. You need to be careful heading home, because Santa's a crazy driver with them reindeer. You don't want to get run over. But great, really fun movie. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I didn't have a problem with it. So anyways, guys, there you go. Thanks for watching my Christmas edition of my DVD and Blu-ray collection. If you haven't already, please go check out everything else we did on Christmas week, and check out everything coming out for the rest of the week, the next couple videos. Stay tuned for what else we got going on this channel. Go check out my other DVD collections. If you haven't already, and that's something you're into, definitely go check those out. They're on this channel. So anyways, like I said, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, keep the scumbaggery at home, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Merry Christmas.